wear eyeglasses? Many of you probably do. Even if you don't, chances are that someone in your family does. As for me, well, I've been wearing glasses for well over 20 years, so it's something that I've definitely gotten used to. When you think about it, glasses really are a remarkable invention. They make it possible for people like me to see things more clearly. Without glasses, many people would be unable to do basic things such as read a book, drive a car, or order from a restaurant menu. All of these are things we take for granted nowadays. So how do we make sure we get the right glasses for us? Well, we go see an optometrist who then does an eye exam. One of the things I've noticed about eye exams is that they are pretty similar to each other, regardless of which optometrist does them. They use the same eye chart, similar procedures, and specially designed equipment. Now, how comfortable would you feel if your optometrist told you that he didn't believe in standardized eye charts because they interfered with his creativity? If your optometrist said to you that he doesn't need to do a standard eye exam because he already knows his patients, chances are you'd be looking for a new optometrist. The reason why is obvious. Using standardized procedures and measurement tools is an important part of a professional examination. Well, the same holds true in the field of education. Standardized testing is a controversial topic in education circles because some groups, particularly teachers' unions, are strongly opposed to their use. For example, the BC Federation of Teachers stridently opposes the foundation skills assessment administered to all grades 4 and 7 students in that province. Their opposition is so strong that the Teachers Federation in BC even sends letters home to parents letting them know how they can get their children opted out of writing the assessment. You see, even though the foundation skills assessment is mandatory for all students, the Federation considers it so harmful that they are willing to flout the law in their quest to have it abolished. However, teachers' unions are simply wrong in their opposition to standardized testing. These tests form an essential component of public education because they provide teachers, parents, and the general public with important information about student academic performance. Without the data provided by standardized tests, policymakers are literally operating in the dark when trying to determine where improvement is needed. A balanced assessment policy includes both teacher-created assessment and standardized testing. Teacher-created assessment ensures teachers can take individual student needs into account when designing and evaluating assignments and tests. Standardized testing balances this with an objective measurement tool that makes it possible to determine whether provincial curriculum standards have been met. Both teacher-created and standardized measurement tools are needed for a balanced assessment policy. One of the most common arguments against standardized testing is that they cause teachers to teach to the test. However, properly designed standardized tests are closely correlated with the provincial curriculum. As long as teachers are following the mandated curriculum, they are already teaching to the test. If, as some opponents argue, some standardized tests are too narrowly focused on literacy and numeracy skills, the solution is to broaden the scope of the tests, not to abolish them completely. The argument is sometimes made that standardized tests cause students to suffer harmful stress. The problem with this argument is it ignores the fact that not all stress is harmful. There is nothing wrong with students feeling some anxiety prior to writing a test. A test provides a challenge, and challenges can cause stress. For virtually all students, a moderate level of anxiety can be a powerful motivator for careful preparation, for reviewing the material, and for practicing their skills. It also helps them focus their attention on the material while they write the formal test. Of course, no one believes the standardized testing should be the only thing used to evaluate students, or their teachers for that matter, but it is an essential component of a balanced assessment policy. Like other professionals, Teachers should be willing and able to use standardized instruments as part of the evaluation process. We have nothing to fear from good data about student achievement. Have you ever heard this saying? A teacher should be a guide on the side rather than a sage on the stage. If you've attended a faculty of education, you've probably heard it many times. But what does it mean? Basically, it says that teachers should spend less time in front of the classroom talking and more time on the side letting students figure out things for themselves. It's all about the kids. How many times have you heard that phrase? Probably more times than you can remember, particularly when education is the topic. That's because virtually everyone who works in public education gives lip service to the idea that students must always come first.